What's going on, gamers? We got some positive news here for PC gamers, and I guess you could say some more obvious news, if you want to take it as negative, for hardware Xbox owners. The way I see this as is Microsoft is initiating their Xbox Classics to PC here. Like it says, Xbox brings original Xbox Classics to PC with backwards compatibility, which I kind of find weird because backwards compatibility means like usually across consoles, like a next generation device launching, and you got backwards compatibility support. That's the way I see backwards compatibility. This to me is more like an Xbox PC retro future that's coming to PC, but it gives you an idea again, and it will be coming to the ROG Ally, which is cool for people who want to play across multiple devices. Are still doing that, but it gives me the idea that Xbox hardware is once again being abandoned, because it's not about getting people to focus on Xbox hardware. It's about, we want to put our stuff even more on PC because that's what we're moving to as a publisher and as a platform. You know what I mean? I don't believe that Microsoft is trying to preserve things through hardware. They're going to be preserving things through PC and OEM devices. And it's what I've been trying to tell people. Like, when it comes to the Xbox hardware, they're not going to focus on it like that. This is why you see this happening here. Sony would never do this, neither would Nintendo. So it says right here, and we're going to get down to the 4 games too. The launch includes Blinks the Time Sweeper, which is a cool game. Fusion Frenzy is a goated game. I loved Fusion Frenzy on original Xbox. It was kind of like a, you could say, a competition to Mario Party. Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, and oh man, Conquer Live and Reloaded. Conquer's Bad Fur Day on 64 is one of the most goated games, I swear. I love that game. I wish Rare would make another Conquer, but I don't think they're going to. But these are some cool games. They're only starting off with 4. And it says available via Xbox app for purchase. So you don't get to get it if you already have it on Xbox, apparently. You have to actually buy the game, apparently. That's what people are saying. I can't carry it over if I have the physical copy and be able to play it. I'm like, no, because you have to get it via a digital license. So it's on their Game Pass or existing licenses. Not if you have the disc. You have to buy it. And that's where, like, that phenomenon is going to start popping up again. I'm like, do you really expect Microsoft to do that? No, I don't think so. So the reason why they're going to say this is because it's the Xbox app on PC, where you could like carry over that with your gamer tag. But usually you would think of backwards compatibility from a hardware sense, like, you know, Xbox Helix. You know, that's going to be a PC. But this gives you the idea Microsoft is making everything go to PC. It's not going to be about Xbox hardware. That's going to be over with. Players get upgrades like 4K resolution upscaling, better AA, and soon achievements on PC and consoles. That's cool, because I know people like achievements. Xbox VP Jason Ronald called it an early release, with more titles coming later this year to support devices from desktops to handhelds like ROG Ally. So do the same thing again across multiple devices. You see? Where Microsoft is considering PC still Xbox in a way, but it's not though, because you put the Xbox app on the PC, but you could just take it off and it's still PC. You know what I mean? And Steam is still there. That's why I say that, like, an exclusive to me is something that's only in the Xbox world. Now, if you put the exclusive only on the Xbox app and not on Steam, then it's still in the Xbox ecosystem. That would be more of a closer aspect to an exclusive. But I don't think they're going to do that because they know they need Steam. This step preserves these 20-year-old Microsoft classics, extending Xbox's compatibility across platforms. Yeah, it does. And there's something wrong with that, because a lot of people are wondering if they'll be able to play some of those Microsoft classics, and now you're going to be able to do it, but it's only on the Xbox app. Yeah, it's not going to come to Steam, because that's kind of the idea of this right here. So you're going to have to use the Xbox app to be able to get to these games. Going down, we kind of see this right here. These are the 4 games. As we know, Microsoft got Rare around that time, and they made Conquer Live and Reloaded. Of course, it was nowhere near as huge as Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which, oh, I just love that game so much, but it's still cool. You guys should definitely check out Conquer if you like older shooter classics. Those games were legendary. So there's some people that are happy about this, but there are some people also that are saying that to them, this is not backwards compatibility. It is kind of like a retro aspect on PC, but then again, if you're keeping it in the Xbox world and you're continuing over with your gamer tag, I would say that they're allowing you to purchase older games through the digital format, not so much preserving Xbox disc at that time, because original Xbox was mostly about getting disc. There was no digital like that. So they've now turned all that into a digital license. It's not ownership. Just so you guys can know about this. Fuser Frenzy is to go. Yeah, it is 100%. And people right here are basically saying that's pretty cool to some of them. And then you could go to xboxgamepressversion.com and vote to show which games you want to see backwards compatible in the future. Of course, this game right here is goated. That would be nice if they did that, but I don't know. And like he said, classic Xbox game achievements. This has been so long requested, finally. And the Ninja Loves Hate says, but they're digital, right? Yeah. There's not going to be any physical. Jace is mad because it's Windows 11 only. Yeah, if you don't have Windows 11, you're not going to be able to do it. And please release them on Steam and GOG as well, and without locking them on Windows 11 APIs. Please. Yeah, a lot of people are, not big on Windows 11, but good luck with that. That's not going to happen. They're not going to do it. But what he's saying is what I'm saying too. Everything is moving towards that digital format. This is another example of if you have the physical disc. This is why Microsoft might introduce a program called Positron so that you can convert those games into that and then get the digital copy probably across multiple devices. It's supposedly they were supposed to release last week, right? But it didn't happen. So I don't know if that's real or not. But Need for Speed Most Wanted, yeah, that depends on EA. Now, here's what I was saying. Spill says backwards compatibility is a future where you can play the games you own from older hardware on your new hardware. This is not that. Use the correct terms. Call it Xbox Retro Library, Xbox Classics on PC, or something like that. That's the way I kind of look at it, because I don't see it being a backwards compatibility future. In order for you to do that, Microsoft should look at the way that it worked on the Xbox hardware. That's backwards compatibility. But this is more like, an Xbox Classics coming to PC on the Xbox app. I wouldn't call it backwards compatible. Yeah, they're going to have achievements. They say that. So that's pretty much what I have to tell you guys about this, except the fact that now we're going to focus on talking about hardware. Now, if Microsoft wanted to keep the Xbox consoles and hardware more attractive, they would have brought this specifically to the hardware. See, this is not hardware focused again. They don't care about Xbox consoles, I'm telling you. They just want to make nothing but profit off of them, like Valve is making kind of off of the Steam machines right now. Everything's going to be sold, but it's not going to be subsidized. And there's only going to be a few more manufacturing aspects of it this year, and next year it's going to dwindle down big time. When the Xbox Helix launches, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to get a limited amount manufactured, but do not believe that the focus is going to be about Xbox Helix being bought. I've seen dumb articles and I'm like, no, this is just nothing but nonsense. This right here gives you another idea right now that they didn't come to make Xbox backwards compatibility on original consoles get achievements, or on the series get the achievements by itself specifically. It came to PC too. It's always this game to where they don't go down a certain path of trying to get you to focus on their hardware or trying to be a strong publisher. This is a way of saying still buy it on PC too. And I want to increase the quality of my Xbox app on PC. I can't just go straight to Xbox consoles. They can't play the true exclusive game, go full exclusives. It's kind of like some half-hearted nitpicking stuff here and there. This is not being negative either. This is being truthful. It gives you the idea that, Xbox hardware is not important to Microsoft. But they still want to make money off of software, publish stuff on PC, and on OEM devices like the ROG Ally, but nobody has it that much. There's only a few 100,000 people in that. And if that's even left over. But I think when it comes to the Helix, once again, people need to lower their expectations and realize that this is not going to be what you think it's going to be. It is going to be very niche, and it's not going to sell that much. Only diehard Xbox fanboys are going to get it, but the average console gamer is going to look at that price and say, you're out of your mind. It's like they looked at the Steam machine. It's selling 12,000 to 15,000 units per week. They'll have an original spike, yes, but I'm telling you right now, Sony is not going to sell the PlayStation 6 for more than $800. That's the highest I think they're going to go for PlayStation 6, whereas the Xbox Helix is going to be in the high thousand range. And when you think about Xbox hardware, it's already in the grave and it's sinking. nobody is going to want to buy it. Their only hope of getting some type of decent support would be with a cheaper model, like Xbox Series S. I've said this before, right? And it has to be like $800 or something like that. And even then, that's going to be tough for an Xbox brand. You can say, well, they could try to make Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive. If they did that, that would destroy Elder Scrolls 6 development and publishing. It's just going to cost so much money to make that game. That game's probably going to cost $400 or $500 million. Like, in order to make the money you want back from Elder Scrolls, they're gonna want that game to at least sell 10 million the first year, minimum. That's not gonna happen on the Xbox. They're gonna need Steam to do that. And then again, it gives you the idea, if I could get it on Steam, the biggest sales are gonna be on the PC platform, and people buying it on PC. They're gonna say, I'm not buying your hardware. I can go play it on PC already. You see what I mean? Nobody's gonna get a $1,500 to $2,000 hybrid PC with backwards compatibility, digital license support in the Xbox world, because that's what that's going to be. The backwards compatibility on the Helix is going to be digital license. Nobody's going to want to go buy that to play Elder Scrolls 6 when it's going to be right there on Steam. You see? That's why I say at that point, you need to put that on PlayStation, and you need to make a Switch 2 version. Because if you do that, you're going to sell an extra 10 to 15 million copies more likely. And why would you pass up that profit? Do you know that's like $1 billion plus dollars in profit? You know how huge that would be for Microsoft to get back in the Xbox world? And for publishing, that publishing will dominate for quite some time, at least in that category alone. Obviously, there's always going to be other games that are going to be hitting those brackets too. But I just don't see any incentive for them to really care about Xbox hardware going forth. And they're making it quite clear right here with introducing Xbox backwards compatibility on PC, or introducing Xbox Classics on PC. You can kind of say that right there. Other people probably have a different headline for it. But I don't know. I just don't see this as being backwards compatible. I agree with people. So, well, it looks like nobody else is saying that. Yeah, everybody's thinking that this is backwards compatibility, but it's not though. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Do you believe that this also gives you the incentive again that Microsoft is doing an Xbox PC focus? That's why the Xbox Helix, you know what Helix means? Two things. It's Xbox PC. It's going to be a PC, and it's going to be a little bit of a console with backwards compatibility, digital license features. And if you understand that, then you get the idea that it's going to be expensive, because when you make something more like a PC, it costs more money than making a console. That's why a Steam machine is more expensive than consoles. So this makes the Helix automatically going to be more expensive than it would if Microsoft was trying to manufacture a console and sell at a loss and subsidize, because historically that's what you would do. So that's what I have to say about that. Become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.